Hey guys, so the pool's been draining for roughly 9 hours and still has probably another foot or so to go. Now with these pools too, I forgot to show, you also have a drain on the side right there where you can actually hook a garden hose into. However, in my last video I showed how to drain it using the suction method. And again, it's still going over there, and I find this way drains twice as fast as the little valve down at the bottom of the pool. So this is your pump on the side of the pool, and this is the SFX 1000 pump. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually disconnect right here and right up here to get rid of any water that's in this hose, and then it will start draining what's in your pump. Nice thing about this, you don't need any tools. And so the next step, we can disconnect the outlet. And it's as easy as that. And then I'm going to put the parts back together, that way in the springtime I know how they go back on. Next step is you want to actually clean out inside your pump itself. And I had a lot of leaves that just came down on the last day from the wind, and I didn't have my pool covered. So I'm going to pop that out, clean that, and take my filter out. I'm going to clean this. I'm not going to reuse this next year, but I want to keep it so I know the size. So we'll set that aside. And that's inside the pump, so I want to take this off and get it nice and cleaned. So this is the bottom of the pump. So you're going to want to unscrew this. And this will drain any remaining water. There you go, and that's your pump itself, as you can see inside. So I just have some all-purpose cleaner in my spray bottle here. I'm just going to give it a quick spray inside there. A little bit left there. And I'm going to let it soak for a minute or so, and then I'm going to give it a good spray off. And we're going to do the same to the other parts here, just to get some of the grime off of it. Don't forget the other sides too. And that's how you take apart and clean the pump. So what I'm going to do is let everything dry really well. And again, before you put this part away, just make sure you put it upside down to drain any water that may be sitting inside the actual motor itself. And again, all I'm going to do next is put this all back together. That way in the springtime, I'm not having any issues with it. Should also mention, while I'm waiting for this pool to drain, every once in a while I'll spray around the edge. That way if you have any bugs or anything along the side or any dirt, it will wash it down into the water. So while I'm waiting for the water to drain out, there's no real pressure on these pins now. As you can see, you can push them up and down quite easy. So what I want to do is actually start taking these out. Again, there's not a whole lot of pressure. I certainly wouldn't recommend taking those out if there's a lot of pressure on the sidewalls of the liner. Here it is, it's out at the top. And again, I'll have to use maybe 2 hands for this one here, but you need to squeeze in a little bit here again and to pop it out of the top. And there you go. I have a feeling this is going to be as time consuming as it is draining the pool. So it's the next day, the pool's all drained. You notice right there, we'll talk about that shortly. This pool actually drained overnight when it finished. It took roughly 15 hours to drain. However, that's a lot of water, so we'll get taking this apart. So what I find the easiest way to get this apart, because you'll never pull these apart without taking one of these bottom legs off first. So your first step is to squeeze on these pins, and you're going to lift up, and so it's going to be just like that. Now the next step is you have to take out one of these. Your first one's going to be the hardest. One thing I did find over the summertime is that this part of the liner that goes over this pipe is really stuck to this. So in one spot you have to get this unstuck by either sliding something in it or gradually working it up with your finger. If not, you're never going to get this part of the pole out, because you have to push this over this way to allow you enough room to squeeze right here. So I got the first part off. Again, a little tip how this liner actually sticks to the metal is you got to peel it up a little bit. Take your hose and spray some water in there, because what you have to do is shift the top over a little bit in order to give you enough room in order to pop this out. If not, you'll never get it out. So your next step is you're going to want to work your way around your pool, just popping off, let's call these the T-bracket, and then you're going to start pulling each individual piece along here out. And again, they're all pretty much stuck in, so just either put a little water in it or put your finger in to pop it off of the metal bracket, again, as they get really stuck on. Alright, so I got all the poles taken out. So I'm just going to leave the pool itself out to dry. Now I'm just in the garage. I kept the original box. That way I can put all the poles in it. And again, there's the pump I'll put back together. So that's 100% dry. And again, there's the box. So there's the pool. It's going to stay out in the sun for a couple hours to dry up. So when it's put away, it's nice and dry. So the cover's all laid out and drying in the driveway. And the tarp for under the pool is drying too, as well as the pool. It's a nice sunny day and the grass is nice and dry. So there's the cover all folded up, and it's fully dried. So the pool's all dried up. The next step is to get her all folded up. Before I fold it up though, let's talk about the little hole. Somewhere in my pool there's a small leak. I believe it's along one of the seams. So I contacted the company and they may be giving me a replacement. In order to do that, I had to show proof that I had destroyed it by putting a hole in it. So until I get my replacement, I'll fold this up and keep it just in case I don't end up getting one, which I should. There's a 90-day warranty on the pool itself for the liner. So somewhere in there's a small hole, enough that I'm adding a couple gallons a day, and I believe it's along one of the seams. So there we go, guys. The liner's all alright, so we got the liner all folded up to be put away. And again, I have all the brackets and pump and everything put back in the original box. There's no way in heck I'm going to be able to fold that up small enough to put in there, so that'll have to be stored separately. And then as far as the ladder, I'm going to leave that set up and I'll just put my shed. There's my old Ford 8N farm tractor. I've got quite a few videos on my channel regarding that if you want to check them out. Alright, so we'll leave it at that. Anyways, I just want to show you how to take apart and winterize a Summer Waves Elite 14-foot pool. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you post them below. If not, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.